bit like that, was she?
Yeah. No, she's very good and very passionate about her Welshness.
Yeah, it's great. All the apps in there.
Yeah. Sam came for a tour up in the castle. I've been doing a thing with traders and councillors and things, and I bumped into Sam and said, "Why not come along?" And he did. So
great.
he had a free guided tour of the castle.
Yeah, it's good.
Tidy. Backstage pass for the castle.
Backstage pass, yeah.
Bumped into all the actors, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Who was multitasking.
And you may even get a free coffee and love you a latte next time you go in there.
Free what?
Coffee.
Coffee, yes, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Good. Well, have you been in Love You a Latte?
Have I been to what? Oh, Love You a Latte, off the coffee shop.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Was somebody...
The girl and the two blokes there were the owners of that.
All right. So what, both the girls or just one of the girls?
No, one of the girls, the other girl's an Egyptologist.
All right. So was it the one with the dark hair then that was from the
the bigger
That's
one.
Right. I went in there early days when it had just, I think, transpired from, what was it called before? Beginning with a G or a C. Remember, it was called, before it was called Love You Latte. It was called
I know, I can't remember now.
Yeah, but I went in there halfway through COVID, I suppose, at some stage, sitting outside, and I thought, oh, it's quite pleasant. I hadn't been back there sort of since, you know. But I take it there was a guy there from the place next door, the Mum Bales, the kind of bar come beer thing.
Yeah, Mum Bales, yeah. Gareth.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
you can get a free beer and a free coffee.
Okay, how come? What I mean?
Well, just say, all right, how are you?
Hobnob.
Give me a free beer.
Yeah.
So you're at the castle, give me a free beer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to haven't spoken to Will for a long time. You know.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was good recalling sort of castle days. I can remember when I did Digger, his dad, is in kind of business with another old friend of mine, Keith Harris, Big Harry. And I did Big Harry's daughter's wedding in the castle. Got to be about 25, 30 years ago. And then Will was saying, oh yeah, he didn't go to the day, but he remembered the night. He was only 18 then. So that would make it about right, because he's about 40 something now, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only been one since then, and that's because it's been sort of closed up.
Been what?
One wedding since then, I think.
All right, yeah, because he kind of pulled strings for it in the first place. I'm not sure if it was anything to do with Harry being, loads of dosh, or one of our old gang back in the, when we were in our teens was a chap called, his nickname was Bengo, but his proper name was David Stevens, and he used to live in the last house on the right as you're going up to the castle. And I think for a while he was the sort of the castle looker after her. He was, I don't think he's there now.
Is that on the right-hand side?
Yeah, and he also was the steward in the British Legion for years as well.
Yeah, I think his parents were still there. I think his mother just died, I think.
Oh, that would be about right. Yeah.
6 months ago, yeah.
No, that would be it then. I noticed the house, they quite kindly, they got a dog bowl outside their gate.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. I took better up to that day. So, Paul, have you been all right? I haven't seen you for a while.
No, a bit laziness, not up to it, and this and the other, a bit of a mixture of things. So I'm fine now.
I bumped into Johnny Capek Monday last week.
See, because he's not too well.
But I said to him, he said to me, "Oh, you've not been well then?" I said, "Well, yes, but I said, how are you?" I said, "'Cause I haven't seen you for a while." And he said, yeah, he hadn't been well. And he said he'd lost his voice for about 3 or 4 months.
All right.
Gone really, really weak. But he was moving around all right.
Okay, good.
What happened to you over in the European community, Fred?
Oh, nothing happened to me at all. No, nothing happened at all. No. In fact, right, I did a brief one, I think, to Michael, but it was a big bike rally I go to every year when I can. It's somewhere in Europe. It's called the Super Rally, and I've been to it in Spain, Sweden before, Austria, wherever. So this year it was in Sweden. So me and I normally go on my own and meet up with the guys I ride with from Brussels. I'm in the club over there, but Mike Reese came with me this time, and we set off Monday morning, about 7 from Swansea up to the Channel Tunnel, and 5 hours get up there, across on the train, the other side, another 130 miles. So we did 400 miles, and we got to the place I'd booked for the night, early evening. So little meal in a village restaurant, back to the B&B, sleep, fine. Following day, ride up to my mates, about 10 miles away, meet up with the rest of the guys, and off we go. And we ride then up through Belgium, through the Netherlands, into Germany, just below Hamburg somewhere, and where we'd pre-arranged accommodation, stayed there the night, everything fine. And then the following day, we set off, and we knew the weather was not going to be good. So we got all the wet gear on, and we're riding. And after an hour or so, I was aware, apart from the fact I was getting a bit tired, the weather turned really badly. We rode through some awful sort of thunderstorms, really. Oh my God, And then I was aware I was fighting that fatigue that was coming in. And so I said to the guys, I said, I got to stop for a while. I'm really knackered, not even before the middle of the day. So we pulled over, and I just lay down on the deck for a while, half an hour, and just try to regather my strength a bit. And then we set off again. But it wasn't long before I realized it wasn't happening for me. So I literally pulled out of the pack, and I signaled to them, I got to stop. And I'd stopped. So luckily for me, we'd put into my sat nav the destination for that night. So eventually I could have caught them up. So I set off after a while and went through some really awful hallucinatory sort of states of trying to put petrol in my bike and not realizing what was happening, lying down on the floor, thinking, oh, I'll be all right. So after I set off, and I rode for about another hour or two on my own, but then I was aware the battery on my sat nav had gone. So I thought, oh, bugger, I don't know where I am now. So at that point, I pulled over into a services, but I was so knackered here. I went to park the bike, and I just didn't have the strength to stop it properly. And I just literally dropped the bike gently down. It kind of rolls, no damage. And I just lay down on the floor, and I just kind of crashed out. And a lady came along who was to do with this building, took me in, gave me something to drink with sugar in it. And then the guys who realized, I hadn't turned up, got in touch with me, and I tried to explain to them where I was. And then they end up they found me, they said, stay there, we'll come and get you. So they came out with one of the bikes, put me on the back of one of the bikes. The other guy rode my bike to the hotel, which was only about, 15, 20 miles from where I was. So I was pretty close. But I was in no state for anything. I just went straight to bed that night, about 7:30, and tried to sleep through the night. But through the night and in the morning, I was in a terrible state, and the guys had to make the decision then of stay or go. And my mate says, "Oh, do you want me to stay?" And I was a bit, oh no, whatever. But because when I've ridden with them before, I've usually, they have this thing, oh, Samuel, he'll get you, because I've been riding out there on my own for years, meeting up with them and battling through and turning up, I'll be okay. So I think they thought, oh, Samuel will be okay. But of course, it just went worse and worse and worse. And the hotel called the doctor. And at that point on, I lost knowledge of the next 3 days to a degree. All I know is a second doctor came, a woman who was far more insistent. Next thing I know, there's an ambulance. I'm in the ambulance, attached stuff to me, and I'm gone to this hospital, back down the road about 10 or 15 miles, really big modern hospital. So I was in there then, and they just attached all sort of stuff to me, and I was on a antibiotic strip for 3 or 4 days, just trying to having my kidney scanned and trying to find out what the problem was. But I knew the problem. I've only got one kidney anyway from my cancer, and it doesn't work all that well. It's sort of 50-60% efficient. So if my body is put under strain, and I try and put enough liquid through it, but when your body is your adrenaline is driving you on, but at the same time the body is sort of shutting down, and in the end they're fighting each other, and then the rest of the thing kicks in. And I didn't know. Kim told me afterwards that it goes into a thing called sepsis then, which is it attacks all the stuff in your body, and you just go down. But little did I know that when the guys had left, Mike, my friend, had actually got in touch with Kim, and Kim told me his words were, "Oh, Kim, Sam's having a bit of a problem. It was just literally, Kim, Sam is fucked, Yeah. Right, okay. So
He's got medical experience then.
he gave us some basic information and about the hotel. Kim at that point then got in touch with the hotel. So I didn't know, but by the time the first doctor had been and gone, Kim instigated via the hotel that they get another doctor in. She explained what happens to me because she's a nurse. She knows the whole thing, and insisted that, this next doctor, and implied the whole thing. And it was Kim who literally got me into the hospital,
Right.
And I didn't find out that until I'd been there for about 3 days. I was trying to join the dots up, and it was a bit of a blur. But the hospital were incredible. The detail, the piece of calm that I kind of needed, they were fantastic. And I didn't know when I was going to be able to go. And I knew I wouldn't be able to ride my bike. So Kim again instigated. Jodie, my daughter, and her husband, they flew out. Only when they gave me clearance that I was well enough to go. Well, that was 6 days later, and I'm hanging on, sort of saying, can I go now? No, we got to do this and we got to do that. So I finally left there after being there for about 6 days. So I flew back then with Jodie and her husband, and my bike was on like a recovery plan from the insurance, So I've been chasing that up since I come back, and it's actually still there. And initially, I thought I smelled a rat. I thought, wait a minute now, my insurance company have passed it on to somebody else, who passed it on to somebody else, and I've been dealing with this guy who's asked me to email out to him a copy of my V5 form just to prove, I'm the owner of the bike and all that business. I thought, wait a minute, somewhere along the line, somebody's running a scam, yeah? So I rang the hotel. I said, excuse me, I was with you 10 days ago. My bike is parked around the back of the hotel. Can you do me a big favor? Can you go and have a look to see if the bike's still there? And you've still got the keys. So after about 10 minutes, she came back and she said, I was expecting it to say, no, they came and took it away a week ago, But no, it's still there. So I finally tracked down the proper people who've given me a date for pickup this coming Thursday. They haven't got a date for when I'll get it back, but that's when it's going to be picked up and collected. But I mean, no particular rush, But I'm all right now.
Yeah, luckily enough, you got back well, huh? Jesus.
Yeah.
What country is that in now, Sam?
Denmark.
Denmark.
Yeah, and it's amazing because it was right at the top of Denmark, and then you sort of make a right turn, and you go across this big island, which brings you inevitably to Copenhagen.
Yeah, the bridge is amazing, isn't it?
So the bridge, which I was so looking forward to crossing, it's the bridge featured in the TV program, The Bridge. The first half of it is a bridge, and then it's a tunnel,
Yeah.
But I didn't make it that far. So the rest of them then went across into Sweden, up Sweden, to a little island on the east coast of Sweden called Åland, But
I assume you're all covered insurance-wise for all this.
Yeah, so it's joining the dots up now. So the insurance company, sent me a form where I have to sort of send them all sorts of stuff. I give them reference to my my health records and this, that, and the other, and then the bike thing is covered, because technically with the bike recovery, it's if you break down or whatever, they normally take you to the nearest, recommended, dealer, or if it's totally unfixable, they will recover you back to your home. Well, there wasn't nothing wrong with the bike, but there's nobody there capable of riding it, and so they took that on board and they kind of rubber stamped the recovery of the bike. So at least the bike will be brought back,
Yeah, right.
That's on paper.
You need to find a mad Finn or something who wants to drive a bike for a few hundred miles and bring it back to you. Don't you?
900 miles I've made, because on my clock I made a point of zeroing the speedo, and before I left the hotel I thought, right, let's take a picture of the speedo just to see the mileage that's on the clock, just to see when I get it back if it's got a similar kind of mileage on it.
Yeah.
If somebody's on a jolly for it
Going around Europe.
yeah. But that was me. There we are.
It's 3 minutes left. Is anybody coming back?
I'll be here.
I'll come back. Yeah.
Dave, are you coming back? So
I'll come back. Yeah.
I want to say something about the bench just so when the camera's
Oh,
off.
okay. Right. Yeah.
Just so when we finish. So you can all,
okay.
Anybody's welcome to listen. It's not private, but
Yeah.
because he's recording now, I didn't want to put it out.
No, what I'll do, Mike, is I'll just everybody say, all right, we'll see you in a bit then. Right?
Yeah.
All right, see you in a bit.
While it's on my mind, when you do the edit on this one, lop out that story of mine, because I haven't gone sort of public with it. People know, like yourselves. But I mean, the only reason it came up on Facebook was because one of the guys who was riding put some pictures up to say, oh, we've just come back. And of course, I got tagged into it. And then Kim commented on it to say, yes, you've all had a wonderful time, but Sam's in hospital for 6 days and blah. So it was only that I think some of you saw, and a handful of other people. So when I see people now,
if he edits that,
So I can scrub the first part then,
yeah. Scrub it all.
We start anew with the second half, all right? How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I won't record it until we finish talking about the thing, all right?
Okay.
You'll have to do that, Sam.
I'll start recording it, but I'll when we I won't put it in, all right? All right?
What do you say, Gary?
You'll have to do something about it, because I told my next door neighbour, Fiona.
Oh no! If people know about it, and it comes back to me.
If Fiona knows about it, the whole of the world will know about it now.
Whatever.
It's a great story. It's a great story, Sam. You can make
All right, whatever.
Yeah, it's a good story. Yeah.
I reckon I was fascinated there. I thought, wow, what a kill endurance, Well, fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, leave it run. I
would love to put that in, actually, if you don't mind, because
there's nothing bad.
And a bloke in Holland with a new
it would be interesting to see how you dealt with all that,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good moral story sort of thing, isn't it? Stick up and go on and everything.
Yeah.
And make sure you're insured.
You bug it anyway, Sam.
Yeah. So when I finally spoke to Kim, and she sort of waved a big flag at me, and I had to go, okay.
I think it's called.
Hi, welcome to the Landland Silver Surfers. Thank you for watching. Please think about clicking on the bell to get notifications of all new content.